Hi guys, it's your girl Adiola. Welcome to another delightful episode of Adiola's TV. My apologies, I've been gone for like a month. That's because I've been occupied, with a couple of things. But I put my fans as priority, so that's why I'm back again with another wonderful episode. And so today we are going to be talking about obstacles that prevent us from disagreeing constructively. So I have 5 points. The first obstacle is not seeking to understand the other person's point of view. And the truth is, most of us are sincere, or most people are sincere about their point of view as you are about yours as well. However, it's always best to approach the conversation with the intention to understand the other person's perspective as well. Because even if you don't agree with them, if you don't agree with what they're saying, opening up your mind to learn from what the other party has to say, and vice versa, is important. And this can really help both of you to understand each other better. So point number 2 would be, obstacle number 2 will be making the disagreement personal. I I get really really surprised when you're having a very meaningful or simple conversation or argument with someone. The next thing they're flaring up, it's just a conversation. Come on, So the essence of an argumentative conversation, for those of you who have experience in debates, you agree to disagree and you disagree to agree. Simple, and however, we're learning from each other. That's life. So basically, making the disagreement, you don't have to take it personally. It's just an argument, and yes, it's true that sometimes, our emotions can tend to want to get the most or the best of us, which is all right, but having them under control is very important as well. So basically, it's always best to learn to separate our ego from our point of view. You get what I mean? So the ego is a different thing. The viewpoint is another thing. So ensure that you separate the both, so that you guys can meet in between. And it's always best to practice having options, without attaching them to your identity. You don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Be the observer of your beliefs, basically, and realize that who you are is actually bigger than what you believe in. This way you'll be able to detach your personality from the argument, and that way both of you can learn from each other. Simple. And then the third obstacle will be not questioning your own beliefs or views. When you approach disagreement with the mindset that you could be wrong, it's possible and likely you don't know as much as you think you do. That's the truth. So most times we do believe that we know it all. We don't know it all. And that's why God has created us in billions and trillions, across the world, to be able to learn from one another. And so we don't know it all, and sometimes we believe that we know so much, but it's always not so. So let's not pretend to be an expert when we are not. There's a lot of wisdom and maturity in actually admitting you don't know something. It's always best, and that way you can even learn better. So obstacle number 4 will be when you are determined to win. Your focus is just to win the argument. No, even in literary and debating clubs back then, yeah, I mean, there's the opposing, and there's the opposing, there's the for and against, and both of them have very valid points and arguments, so there's no one-way traffic to it, so nobody should focus on winning arguments. Rather, let's focus on learning, so we shouldn't approach disagreements with the intention to conquer. There are some, people like that. I must win this argument. No, you don't have to win the argument. All you need to do is you have to learn from the argument. I have to conquer the other person. No, you don't have to. It's not wrestling. It's an argumentative conversation. And then this way it will only create resentment if you're focused on winning, conquering the other person, and then you don't get ahead. You don't even get to learn anything from the conversation or the argument. So instead, aim for mutual understanding. Show the other person that you genuinely care about what they have to say. It's not all about you. It's about the person as well, the other person as well. So people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's the truth. And the fifth obstacle will be falsely assuming that the other person should understand and know what you are, going through internally. Whilst you are involved in an argument, I'm not inside you. I don't see what is going on inside you. You get what I mean? So there's a saying that assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. So instead of assuming in your head that the other person ought to know or understand what you're going through, it's always very simple and best to talk. Just give the other person the benefit of doubt and talk about what exactly you are going through, so that you have an understanding of your situation and what you're going through at that moment, and they can be able to prefer the best approach, to making the conversation more healthier. You get what I mean? So and if you keep assuming that the other person knows what you're going through, and then you can tend to react in a certain way that could actually mar the relationship. So guys, these are the 5 obstacles that prevents us from disagreeing constructively. So guys, let's take into consideration these 5 points, and let's put them into practice each time we are involved in an argument with someone. I do hope I've been able to help with these points. I've learned 1 or 2 things as well, and stay tuned. There's more to come. Have a lovely day. Bye.